It kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go lefty.
No, we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Down Lane Podcast. We are streaming live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes. I'm your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia.
Another week of being the guest.
Are you cranky? Are you crankopotamus today?
No. I'm just here. Ready to rumble.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel so you can be notified when we are live.
We are live right now, Kyle.
Or when we put out some new content. And share with your friends. You can also listen to the podcast on your favorite podcast outlet. And while you're doing that, please give us a 5-star review. And you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
The socials.
You can also check out our merch shop on Etsy. And all of those links and everything you need is in the show notes. You can always email us at downlanepod@gmail.com. And while you're watching, we will take your comments and questions during the show. Of course, we'll chat with you guys.
Live.
On today's episode, we're going to talk about the Tournament of Champions, the PWBA schedule, because there was a little bit of, I don't want to say controversy. It wasn't really a controversy, but it was just, some questions arose about the PWBA schedule, so we'll clear that up. We got a guest later on in the show from the USBC. And we'll get to Bowler of the Week. And as always, as every week, our most important question, Anthony, how was your week this week?
It was great.
Was it?
Yeah, it's Thursday, February 24th. There's supposed to be a snowstorm tomorrow. So today's a great day to be me, to be alive, to be bowling tonight.
Really?
Yes.
You're not very convincing today.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say right now. I didn't write anything in the show notes like act happy, be sad, to give myself like a reminder what I'm supposed to do here.
It's a little sad that you need that to give yourself the heads up to act that way.
Well, that's what happens when you're a really good actor. It's got to be somewhere in there so you can kind of, know what direction you're going to go in that day. And I wasn't sure how I was feeling, so I got a little bit of mix up there, and I apologize to my fans.
Well, don't worry, because I think most people are probably watching the TOC right now.
TOC, the Tournament of
Champions.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay. Well,
just to get you riled up.
Yeah. So the Tournament of Champions is going on, obviously.
Oh, it is? Can I have my headband?
Yeah. That's right.
That's
not going to fit over your head, your headphones. Right. THB. Typical house bowler, which actually fits you pretty nicely.
Yeah, I'm a house hack. That's all I'm good for is the bowl in a league shop.
Yeah.
So it's okay. But I want to wear this because my friend Richard, a.k.a. Richie, a.k.a. Dick, a.k.a. the guy, the dude, shot 800 for 3 at that tournament, the first event, or the first block, squad, whatever you want to call it. He's crushing them. Yeah,
Dick Allen. It's been a leader flip-flop for all of qualifying because he led a little bit. who else led? Sean Maldonado led for a little bit.
Two-hander.
Somebody else led too for a minute. It's escaping me. But yeah, the leaderboard has been.
I don't care about. When I saw him there, life made.
But
I was gonna tweet him, but I forgot.
It's been a little bit of a downlane podcast top 5 too, because Bill O'Neill jumped into the top 5.
I did see that, and guess what? He shot 149 the first game.
That's right.
About what you looked like last night on that pattern.
Yeah, so we did practice on it last night, and we filmed it a little bit, so you can check that out on the channel. I was messing around with some different bowling balls to see how it would go in the first game, and it was pretty hard. Austin, you were trying some different stuff.
We also drilled him a ball mid-game.
Yeah. Anthony was like, dude, you need more friction. And Austin was like, yeah. So he immediately drilled him a brand new Quantum Evo Solid. And that was perfect.
That actually rolled pretty good.
Yeah, it was exactly what you needed. Yeah.
Sometimes, put the pin here, put the pin there. I don't think. I just draw lines on it and boom, worked.
But yeah, so for me, it's a 40-foot shot, high volume, and
you have a picture of it?
Turns out, I didn't upload it, but
did you forget? I didn't think about it till now.
I didn't think about it till now either.
Because we did have it, but yeah, it definitely looked challenging. 40 feet.
It's the Don Johnson 40.
Yeah, 40 feet. I think it was 2.5 to 1. About 30 milliliters of oil. There was a 40 mic pump though, so there was a little bit of hook out there. It looked like it didn't really skid through the fronts as quick as I thought it would. So they were a little hooky.
Yeah, but for me, as per usual, first game, 2 games was definitely a urethane shot for me. A couple of the guys that had more hand than me, they could use resin right at 15, hooking the whole lane. But I'm curious because I'm not as good as obviously none of us are as good as the pros because we're not there. But nod your head all you want, but you're still sitting right there. But what I'm curious is, those guys like Jake and Nick, they both had a really good look at 15, and I'm curious, is that starting too far in too soon with really strong bowling balls? Because if you start to move in too fast, would their shot go away? We didn't bowl long enough to see how that would work out.
We're also not moving pairs,
right?
How
other guys would be breaking down the lanes, but it did look like, at least from what I saw, from the videos that I saw, that straighter did seem to be the play. At least from what Dick Allen was throwing, it looked like O'Neill was straighter. I don't know. What did you see, or have you seen a lot of?
I've seen a little bit. Mostly my friend Dick. He's a cool guy.
He's a straighter player anyway. He's not a cranker.
Yeah, he plays it in pretty well though. He used a forge fire, it looked like, and then it was pretty charcoaly. Was it forge fire? It was this bright yellow one. That's the only one that speaks to me. But he was pretty straight through the front part of the lane. I seen a little bit. I didn't have time. I was drilling a few balls today, so I didn't get really a chance to watch. But we could put it on my computer, but I'm not gonna do that because then focus. Can't do 2 things at once. Yeah,
you can't do bubblegum and walk at the same time, let alone drill bowling balls. I mean,
I know
that would be dangerous. Some interesting fact was that Pete Weber DNF'd after 3 games on the first day. I don't know if he wasn't feeling well. I don't think he was. They said it wasn't COVID or anything, but I also saw a few shots that he was throwing. I don't know if it was his attitude or if he wasn't feeling good, but he just looked not in good spirits. Yeah,
it's got to be tough because he's at the age where the younger guys are coming through. He's been there for so long. They probably strike a little bit more than he does, and they carry some of the off hits where he doesn't. So I can imagine trying to bowl in it and just watching some of these guys get some rubbish strikes.
In his opinion.
Yeah, and he might just not like it. I know he's a little vocal, but he's a good player, obviously, but he's kind of on his downslope, I would say. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, on 50, I think he's probably
good on the
doing
50.
just fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
50, he's crushing them.
but yeah, I couldn't agree more. He's going to be beyond his time on the main tour. His game, I think, is just he's got the young game, but he's kind of too old for his young game. You know what I mean? Not to be negative about him or anything.
No,
but
it's just it's kind of like
it is what it is at that point.
Yeah, he can definitely have some good events. Put that out there. He could, but it's not going to be as often as the younger guys.
So we'll just show the standings real quick for anybody that hasn't seen them yet. Obviously, these are right on the PBA website. Sean Maldonado is back at the top while they are in match play of the first round right now. And him and Dom Barrett both are 3-0 through match play. And EJ opened up match play with a 300 game. And I guess Pete, who the heck did he beat with the 280 games? EJ had 300 and almost been. Francois Lavoie had 280 and lost. Oops.
280, 300. That's gotta suck.
Can you imagine?
No, because I watched you guys bowl on it yesterday, and I couldn't imagine somebody shooting 280.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, obviously they are in a different class.
Sure. Yeah.
But and we have some good competitive players.
I mean, the guys opened up, as we saw, a couple of guys opened up with 240, 250 or whatever it was.
Right.
But they were fresh. And, yeah. I know. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't know if they re-oiled for match play though. I'm not sure if they did.
They have to, I'm sure.
You think so?
Yeah, why not?
Dick Allen's 2-1. He's in 4th place. Anderson, 5th place. So again, like 3 Motive guys in the top 5. Motive has been killing it lately.
Been hot. Who won last year? Do you remember?
Geez. Did I have it in the?
Yeah, Francois Lavoie.
That's right.
Yeah, you had it there. I wanted to see if you knew the answer.
I should have known because I wrote it down.
I know.
But my brain sucks.
I guess the expected average is 227.
Yeah.
By the PBA. I mean that's
almost pretty close.
It's kind of funny.
A little lower right now. It's pacing a little lower.
Yeah, it's funny because O'Neill had 149 and is averaging 230.
Yeah, sick, right?
That's absolutely gross.
He probably just was like shook it off and was like game change. And there's.
I think I saw a tweet because me and him are tight on the tweeter now. And
the tweet box.
Yeah, and he wrote he actually had like he talked to his dad and had a practice session or something in between,
really?
Possibly with a Brunswick rep.
Okay.
Eric Krause, and he talked to his dad, who was like his all-time coach, and then he's like, "Yeah, I came out. Looks like I'm doing all right." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, you're averaging 230 with a 150 game. Gross." Imagine if he didn't throw 150.
Oh my
149.
goodness. Yeah. He'd be leading, but it doesn't really matter, really, because he's still top 5. So he's doing all right.
But I mean, just saying, he could have a lot more.
Well, I should say he was top 5. Where did he go? Oh boy, that's match play. Anything can happen in match play. He's in 16th right now. He's 0 for 3. In any event, all right. Well, so that's the TOC. That's going to be wrapping up in a couple of days here. PWBA. They released their schedule back at the end of in December. And they had 12 events on the schedule, and like a week or two ago, we didn't cover it, but they released a picture of the schedule, and it only had 8 events on it. So
we did talk about it.
It confused some people, because it's the way it shows on the picture that they released was that there's 8 events, but really there's 6 events being held in 2 different locations. So I think what isn't really clear, maybe they probably should maybe separate them on that post or something. But in Rockville Center, New York, they have 3 events being bowled at Maple Lanes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and in Dallas, they have 3 events being bowled. Where is that?
Dallas.
Just Dallas. Maybe they didn't pick a center. USA Bowl. There it is. Yeah. So they collapsed them all into one
kind of like event.
Yeah. visually. So it looked like they were only bowling 8, but they still do have 12 on the schedule.
And there is a CBS Sports Network one. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, so they're going to be on TV. No, 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. 4 times. 4 times they're going to be on TV. Yep. The Rockford Open, the Twin Cities Open, the U.S. Open, which is in Glens Falls, which is here near Albany, and then the Tour Championship, which is down in Dallas.
It's Jeremy's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Jeremy. Jeremy's one of our buddies here, so it's his birthday today. That's right. They had cake here last night.
That was for Rebecca, though, the bartender.
Oh, that's right. Whatever. They said it was for him and her.
You tried.
Yeah. They said it was for him and her. That's what they told me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, we just wanted to help clarify that schedule because we saw some comments on the socials, if you will, about how there was only 12 or there's only 8. So, we're out here helping the cause. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anthony's off tonight. He usually picks me up with my He usually
we were here too late last night and not recovered yet.
Dude, Anthony was here chatting up a storm about bowling balls and equipment and lanes and this or that.
With
holy crap, Mr. Hoffman. We were here until 2:30, I think, almost 2:30.
Yeah,
it was stupid. We weren't even doing it. We were just sitting here talking.
What time did you wake up?
Like 7:30.
What time did Anthony wake up?
Oh yeah, but probably
I don't know.
Probably 11:30, 12 o'clock.
I got here at 11:30.
No way you got here at 11:30.
Yeah, 11:40, 11:30. I stopped to get some breakfast.
11:40, 12:15. Yeah,
I stopped to get some breakfast.
I was hungry, dude. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. I was hungry. It was, I was tired. I had a headache.
I was thinking about lunch at 11:30.
I was thinking about lunch at 10:30.
I don't know when I got up. It was a long talk, though. We had a good talk talking about bowling and how it evolved over time.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk to Mike about this because one of the things we were talking about was, of course, like we always talk about, was kind of the evolution of bowling, like we talked about in one of our shows. Was that 2 weeks ago we talked about that, or was it? Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago about how the science is kind of maybe going
it's too much,
going past the bowler, over the head of the bowler, the average bowler,
right?
And then
that was 2 weeks ago.
How maybe it's hurting the sport because there's too much science and the average bowler is just not willing to absorb all that information.
Maybe if you wrote our episodes on the banner, we would know which one it is. But yeah, I think we talked about that 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
Because last week we had who on? Ron Hicklin? Last week?
No, that was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, Ron was on. Ron Hicklin. Wow. Yep. We have so much action going on. Downland Podcast. It's hard to keep track.
Last week, I think we just talked about PBA stuff.
Yeah, it was just us last week. Just our shining faces last week.
No wonder why nobody likes us.
So, why don't we get right to Mike? So, Mike Larsen is the Senior Director of Associations and Membership, and he's going to actually talk to us about why the heck I'm even going to the convention.
And why I'm not.
And what actually goes on at the convention, and we might harass him about some other things. So why don't we bring on Mike and welcome on to the show. What's up, Mike? How's it going?
Gentlemen, nice to meet you. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. How are you today?
Handshake.
Doing good. Yeah, cold day down here in Texas.
I don't.
Ice storm roll through, but my bad. I do forget you're in upstate New York.
We're about to get like a foot of snow tomorrow, so
I wish we got snow.
Yeah.
Instead, we just got ice. Yeah.
I'll take ice.
I don't want it for like weeks at a time, but one day would be fine.
Okay. All right, that's fair. I like this guy.
So tell us a little bit about what you do at the USBC, and we'll start there and kind of go from there.
Yeah, sure. Thanks again for having me. And so, yeah, as you mentioned, Senior Director now of associations and membership operations. And so I basically help service bowling every day with a team of people on association side of things and membership operations sides of things. And so members call us, 150, 200 a day with questions about whatever, anything and everything. Associations need help with something with their association. They call our team for help. We do everything everything bowling service related except the rules. The rules we have a whole a department that handles that. Those are the things that I don't answer. So no rule book questions. You're not going to pin me on anything that's going to make me define anything for the rules. We got a group that's experts on that. That's not my wheelhouse. So, but yeah, membership service stuff, right? People need access to the website, trying to get on, update their records, honor score rings, those types of things. Our team handles that, membership cards, all that. And so the other thing that most people don't know is we have 1,500 local and state associations around the country who service and support bowling locally. I didn't know how this whole thing worked until I started working here 13 years ago. I bowled my whole life. I was 4 years old in Merritt Island, Florida, at Short Lanes. Loved the sport since I was a kid, and just gravitated towards it all the time. And so, got lucky enough to work here. And then when I got the job, I realized, oh man, there's a lot of people that are involved across the country that help make bowling happen, right? From processing your membership to putting your averages in, your honor scores, running your city tournaments, your state tournaments, your qualifiers for any and every tournament, right? I just didn't know how any of that stuff happened. And so that was really the eye-opening moment for me here. And I think like you guys, I bowled in college, right? I bowled at UCF. I had no idea that USBC was the group that made college bowling happen. Like it wouldn't have existed if this organization wasn't the ones operating and supporting and scheduling and running the whole thing. And so it was a little different back then with College Bowling USA, but with the merger of ABC, WIBC, and YBA back in 04, 05, college bowling became part of USBC's ecosystem. And I heard you guys referencing some stuff earlier about college bowling, and so yeah, all that takes place because of the people that work here. And so we're fortunate to do so, no doubt. I consider a blessing every day. When I go out to events and workshops, I tell people I have the best job in the world because I get to work with people who are passionate about bowling every day. Like any job, right? It's good and bad. Some days are tougher than others, but there's some of those moments that are pretty sweet that we'll carry with us forever, and those memories. So yeah, kind of a nutshell. We service bowling here every day. We do it with a team that services by phone and email, but then we also have a team that goes out in the marketplace, goes to state events, hosts education sessions, and then we put on that USBC convention that you guys were alluding to. And so, yeah.
Are you in charge of that convention specifically?
Yes. Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Responsibility.
We get a team of about 30 people. I mean, I wind up having to make some decisions in the end, but it's a group of people that make it happen. I mean, I can't do it by myself. We usually have about 30 staff members that are on site, and we have about 1,000 attendees at the event. And so we're either just setting up, getting people comfortable. It's like it's unique for sure, but it's like a company's annual meeting. And so we have people from all across the country who will come, listen to education, information, oversee the administration and governance, and then vote and stuff at the end of the week. But there's a lot that goes into it on the front side, but our team helps make it a great experience for all the people that attend.
So you had mentioned all of the different. So I'll ask you a little bit more about your job before we talk about the convention and stuff. You'd mentioned, you work with associations. So you said 1,500? Is that right? 1,500 associations?
Yeah, give or take.
And how many bowling centers are?
About 3,800 centers currently in the country.
And what is a large association versus a small association?
Yeah, good question. The examples I pretty much always use. So Metro Detroit has over 50 bowling centers and 30, 40,000 bowlers. And so it's a small business there. Mark Martin's their current manager. He's retiring. They got a new gentleman, Mr. Goodman, coming in to take over as the manager. Mark's been doing it for, I think, 20 years now, but he's retiring. So, but that association is a small business. I say small business, they probably got $500,000 in revenue, if not more, to operate that. And so to service all those bowlers, all those centers, all those leagues, they have a series of TV shows that cover bowling tournaments that they host and operate. And so it's a small branch of what we do here in their market. And then we have, on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, we have affiliate associations, which are really smaller towns where you might have a 6-lane bowling center, which is the only center in 30 miles. And so Malad City, Idaho, I think it's an 8-lane bowling center, and they've got 2 or 3 leagues. They might have 50 or 60 members, and so the size and scope drastically different. And so we service those two equally and everybody in between. And so easiest kind of way to think about it is we have like 400 of our associations are that small little, Midwestern pocket, you could say. If you go to, I don't know how much you guys have traveled the country, but not everywhere is like the capital city there or a capital area. Not everywhere is Long Island, New York, Buffalo. We got a lot of small towns which have bowling centers, right? Really salt of the earth people who 50 years ago, someone's grandpa built a bowling center in this small town, and it's been, it's like the mall in that city. Sometimes I say city, right? I mean generous.
Right.
And so it's so drastic from association to center. But we've got some really big ones, right? I referenced Detroit, obviously. Chicago, here in our area is pretty big. I mentioned a couple there in New York, right? DC, Denver, LA County, right? Your major metros that are not touching a beautiful part of the ocean. Those ones have gotten smaller, unfortunately, due to land values. Running a bowling center in San Francisco is difficult to do because the cost of that land is worth a lot, and so they'd rather put a high rise on it. So, but those are the size and scope of our associations.
Yeah, speaking of that, I mean, that's been part of the problem here is the bowling alleys here have just been absolutely being crushed by the land value because they don't have the family that wants to keep the bowling alley going.
Mm-hmm. We've lost, 3 or 4?
At least.
5?
In the last 10, 15 years, at least that many.
Yeah.
I mean, our area has had, just Albany alone had, I think, a dozen bowling alleys in the city.
Right.
Now 50 years ago.
They don't have one in the city now.
Right now, the city has 0 bowling alleys in it. But yeah, it's the property value thing is just crazy. On top of the fact of people to run them, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, that's kind of a whole nother topic. But so yeah, the convention, which is why we brought you here, and why I'm going.
Right,
apparently.
because Kyle's really excited and he wants to rub it in my face. I'm telling you.
So we already explained to the folks, that I got this lucky grant that I applied for. We both were eligible for it, and I got it. Anthony did not.
It's because he's a better writer than me.
It does help. Oh. Did I lose you guys?
Hang on one second. Oh, there we go. We're good now.
Austin.
Our producer can't even keep the audio going. No, you're good now. I got number 1, folks. Number 1 over here.
Kyle is a better writer, and there was an essay, and I didn't know what to say, so I copied and pasted like homework in high school. And they were like, "Man, this guy on the podcast, he shouldn't be able to write like that. With the other guys better." Exactly what happened.
So
he likes it. He loves my sarcasm.
Can you tell us a little bit about the delegate grant, and then how is the selection done? Tell everybody why I'm better. No, I'm just kidding. How is the selection process made? And then are there any openings for Anthony to go?
Of course, you would say that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see who how this goes, and then we'll make a determination.
Oh, hey!
Please say no, folks.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Packing my bags.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit about the Young Delegate Grant and just convention as a whole. I mean, it's our governance week. It's a celebration of bowling, a celebration of the organization, a celebration to those who have achieved greatness, right, with Hall of Fame, and then also our national awards that we provide. Those are all recognized there too. And so the Young Delegate Grant Program was introduced in 2016, actually. And it was part of our strategic planning committee's effort where they said, hey, we need to get younger in governance, right? We need younger people to be interested, invested in understanding of the governance of the sport. And I referenced this before, but I didn't know anything about this either. I bowled my whole life. I got invited to the convention, I think, as a delegate, as a athlete delegate when I bowled in college. I had ranked high enough in a tournament, and I got a letter, and I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm 21, 20 years old. What am I going to do with this? I don't know. And so the strategic planning committee said, hey, we need to do something to get some more people to this event to learn about the administration and governance in bowling and what it takes. Because just like 50, 60 years ago, it's no different now, where the people who have time to invest and volunteer with a nonprofit local organization of any type are mostly folks who are retired. It's just the nature of the world and how we operate, right? Some people not in bowling that I talk to, they're like, well, tell me about these folks. And I'm like, if you have a homeowners association in your town, in your neighborhood, who are the people that attend those meetings? They're the people that are passionate about that and have the time to do it. And so it's the same with our bowling associations. They're passionate people who want to volunteer and love the sport, and typically get asked to do it. Right. That's the other thing is we want our folks to be more inviting, to bring people into the sport, to the administration side, ask them to come sit on the board, because that's how they all got started some time ago too. So back to this effort. In your market, as an example, in Albany, you have an annual meeting where members vote on who sits on the board, and then they also vote annually who is a delegate to the convention. And you get 2 delegates per 1,000 people. Based on how big your association, you get X number of delegates. And so the people in local markets are probably going to elect the same people who have been doing it the longest. It's just the nature of how these things typically go, right? No different here, no different in Florida. The same folks who have been going for 10 years or 20 years, who have been working or servicing or volunteering for the association the longest, kind of have seniority in that. And so they then get elected. And so this program is to bring the next wave of volunteerism, to give them exposure to what goes on at convention, give them an understanding of how the governance process works and how they can kind of get involved and make their mark. And so because the folks locally typically are the ones that are getting elected are the same folks, we wanted to bring in some new people. And so we looked at, Kyle, you're getting invited as an athlete delegate, right? So we have thousands of athletes that are eligible to attend the convention, but we usually only get 10, 20, 50 that attend. Most of our representation at the convention comes from the local and state associations. And so either they're athlete delegates or they are on a local board and they are attending convention or have the ability to attend convention as a delegate. You have to fall into one of those groups to receive the delegate grant. And so we have a mix of those who are receiving the grant this year. Some are coming from local associations where they had a spot to become a delegate, and a younger person on their board wants to go and has the means to do so, right? Can take time off of work, whatever it entails. And so they were selected, and the athletes like yourself who finished in the top 5% all events at the Open Women's Championships. Team Trials has a top half selection. There's a few different tournaments which you qualify to be an athlete delegate through. And so we select 20 a year, and it comes from a pool of about 75 to 100. Sorry, Anthony, but you're in that other side of it. And no offense, honestly, the team here, my group here picks who they are, but we place them all around the country. I don't think we've ever selected 2 from the same area. We're trying to make it a cross-reference of the country, and so that would be why. Even though I'm sure you guys would love to go together, it would have been a nice thing.
Yeah, it's quite
of course, same place.
Yeah.
Of course, you're better than me.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It makes sense.
I mean, there was an essay.
Comes down to the writing skills. I get it.
Yeah. So how many events? Now, obviously, the USBC convention is the biggest one. Are there any other types of meetings or anything where this is where the delegates or the grants are applied? Is there anything else?
There's not. No, the grants are just for the convention. But what I will say, and we've seen this happen in a few places since we've started doing this, is state associations have annual meetings where they have a state board that's elected from the delegation, and they run all the state tournaments, the state annual meetings, state hall of fames. We've seen a couple states implement a local delegates program because they noticed the same thing, right? From the New York State meeting, right? That's I think it's first week of June. I was talking to Angelo from the state just the other day. Yep. And he was telling me when it was. And I think Texas, I believe Michigan, I could be mistaken, but I know that after this program rolled out for us in 16, they looked at their state delegation and said, hey, we need the same thing. And so even if it's paying for a hotel night, for a one night, right, the meeting might be on a Saturday afternoon and a Sunday morning or something like that, local or at the state level. They said, hey, we'll fund this association that typically doesn't come. We want them to have representation, to come to our state meeting, be involved. And so they deal with it too. And so some of them rolled out something like that as well.
Very cool. I just think that it's not, for us at least, it's not well marketed, I guess.
Right.
From where we are. Right? So I wonder how many more people would be interested in going to the meetings or X, Y, and Z, because our meeting is held in June, coincidentally, whenever we go to nationals. And I don't know if anybody else really knows. It seems like it's the same people every year who go, and every time we try to go, we're not able to go.
Well, like Mike said, when he bowled, well, I'm not saying they
Just
don't
saying
bowl, but
general.
like early on, before he was at USBC, he had no idea about this stuff.
Right.
And like, I have really no idea about the association other than that it's there, right? And that they handle the certification and the paperwork. Thank you. But like meeting time,
yeah, the
no
meeting
notification.
So
right?
I know when the meeting is.
Right.
Usually,
but the membership doesn't
We
get
never know.
notified. I don't get anything in the mail or an email or anything about when the meeting is. So like,
okay.
but my point is like, yeah, like there's
People who might want to be involved might not know then.
they
What are you
might
saying?
know if they want to be involved,
But what if-
the mass doesn't really pay attention or know.
But what
Right,
if they
is my
want to
point,
be
yeah.
involved? They're not getting a letter. They wouldn't know.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How do we do a better job?
Right,
That's
and
what
that's
I'm
where we're
getting
getting at. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yep.
See,
in our side conversation, leaving you out, Mike.
and he has the answer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So there was a question in there somewhere, Mike. How do we communicate better to our membership when, at least in our area, it seems like if I were to walk out into the concourse right now, these guys probably may not even know that there is an association, and B, know that there's a meeting held every year, let alone a convention
How can we
nationally.
be better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, good question. And every association is different, right? I gave you the scale of Detroit and Idaho and Albany and your surrounding towns there are kind of in the middle of that. Sometimes it takes someone like you, honestly, to get involved and contact the president and say, hey, I want to sit on the board. I want to be on a committee. I want to get involved and learn and understand what's going on so I can help tell these folks behind me, because these are the folks that I'm interacting with. And you might even be surprised, some of those folks who are bowling right behind you, one of them might be on the board, but they are new and don't know what to share and should tell. And I go to meetings, I don't know what to do. It's something we have been trying to work towards with our association leadership academies for sure, is to try to train associations, give them tools and knowledge and simplify things to say, hey, there's a few things you can help do to improve your association's communications to your members, right? You mentioned, didn't get anything in the mail, right? The only thing I get in the mail is ads for another insurance piece.
Yeah.
But, even if there's a social media a platform that, I'm sure there's a bowling group in your area on social media, right? Here we have Southwest Bowlers. I've got DFW Bowling Group. There's bowling groups galore. And the association has their own page where here they're pretty active. And so you might even offer, hey, I'd like to sit on the communications committee. If you don't have one, can we start one? And ask how you can be a part of that to improve it. Because sometimes the folks who have been doing it for a long time, right, they know the requirements, they know how to run the meetings, they handle the business that's required, but that next step of what's expected or desired by the current members, they might not be doing enough of it yet, or not doing it the right way to where you guys are seeing it. And so, it's hard to sometimes reach out and ask to get involved. And because sometimes these folks, they don't know who to go ask to do it either. I'd like to think that they would know that there's a podcast going on in one of the bowling centers, but they might not know that and say, hey, invite one of them into the it's a big studio you got there. So maybe invite it, pull up a third chair.
Absolutely, giant. This is my pro shop.
If you couldn't tell.
It's very
Yeah.
enormous.
Yeah.
Lot of space.
But I think reaching out, right? Communication's always two ways, and it's tough to think of that, especially with this day and age where we can just go online and say what we feel and say, well, look what I said, but it's much better to have a face-to-face conversation if you can with somebody to ask those questions, but do it in a way of like, hey, I want to help, right? I want to make this better, and then put together a plan to do so.
All right, so back to the convention. This is going to be my first time going. I've known about it, but
how many pairs of underwear and socks does he need to go?
I am an experienced traveler. I know that I need at least one pair of underwear. So what should I be expecting day to day? Education, is it meetings? What's going to be going on there?
Yeah, good question. Please bring more than one pair. We'll be around each other for 4 days, so thank you.
There'll be like a sink in the hotel room, right? Like I can just wash them in there, put them under, hang them out the window or something, right?
Have you been to Vegas? They don't usually let the windows open.
Oh, that's right. That's
They don't?
No.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah.
Probably a good thing.
I'll tell you a quick story. I did forget socks once, and I had to wash my socks, and then I had to dry them over like the heater / air conditioner once because I forget where I was traveling to or from, and I couldn't find socks like at a store, and because I was somewhere remote, I forget, whatever. Just side note, it was horrible. I had to wash them, dry them on I think I was at a trade show for work. It was terrible. Sorry. Side note. Go.
I'll be bringing one extra brand new pair of socks.
Thank you.
For you and for us. Yeah. So what to expect? So Monday, the 25th of April is opening day for convention. And so it's the registration day. We have a small trade show and exhibit space. 30 something vendors will be there. And I say vendors, half of them are USBC kind of department based or programming based, right? We'll have a Bowler's Journal booth there, Bowl TV booth there, Bowl for the Cure. Our charitable partner BVL has a booth or two. A lot of traction there usually. Some other bowling clubs will have spots there, and then a few other organizations, our awards partners, ACA, Keepsake, the ring vendor, they usually have a booth too. So some folks like that. I think Classic Products is going to be there this year. So just folks who really would market to bowling associations, right, to our local associations or state associations. So Monday, you'll arrive probably Monday. Coming from the East Coast, we gain some time, so you're probably flying Monday. You'll register. We'll have a welcome reception that night where we'll network with folks, meet some people, have a good time. Tuesday morning really starts the event. We'll have a motivational speaker that will start our day. And so we have a gentleman joining us. I won't give away his name, but
Stone Cold Steve Austin. No? All right.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Maybe. Yeah. I'll see what I can do. Yeah. And then the rest of the day is mostly geared towards education. And so we'll have different workshops based upon things that we feel are needed for our associations to help improve their small business, to help improve their service to their members. Some of these are run by staff here. I'll be doing a workshop on online tournament registration, giving an update to that program and how that's going with our associations who are using that. So quick plug, feel free to let Karen and Albany know that you'd like us to work with them on tournament registration. So you can sign up for your tournaments online, make payment, put in your rosters, and be done with the registration. You don't have to print it out, put it on a piece of paper, write a check. Just trying to streamline the registration process for tournaments.
That would be much easier.
Yeah. And so we're doing one on that. And then we've got a bunch of guest speakers from outside that we've brought in. And so they specialize in a variety of things, right? We have a customer service workshop that's going to be done by someone who used to work for Disney. We have some strategic planning type programs for our associations to improve their planning, processing, achieving their goals, right? I referenced earlier, right? Our associations are passionate volunteers. They might not work in a business that requires them to say, how do I work with these 15 other people to accomplish a goal? Right? That sounds easier said than done, but it's tough when you have all these personalities we're trying to make comfortable with a decision and then put an action plan together to go do. We're doing a board recruitment workshop. We're doing one on sales and marketing to to get sponsors for local tournaments. So we have different people coming in to give that education. So those are some of the programs and workshops that'll be done on Tuesday. And then Tuesday night, we have a Hall of Fame banquet for the 2020 class. We'll talk about a little bit of that in a second. But Wednesday's kind of a similar thing in the morning. We then have a Meet the Candidates session as well. And so we have people running for the National Board of Directors who will be elected on Thursday. And we have a session to come meet them to decide who you want to vote for. And so that's a chance to ask questions, hear their responses, get to know the people who are running for the board, and then you'll eventually help elect 3 of them on Thursday.
I get to vote for him?
Yeah.
I get to vote?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Every athlete delegate who attends is eligible to vote on who's on the board for who's up for election that year and who's on that board or gets elected,
Have to
excuse me.
study. Have to get
And then
I'm
and
really
then
glad
also
you picked you because there's a lot of stuff that you're gonna retain that
yeah, right over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
You definitely chose
Good
the
pick.
smart one.
Good job. I mean, I would get it, but I feel like you're more into that.
Classroom setting? Oh, I don't know.
You're smarter. You get that side of
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
wow, very complimentary. And also, I'm glad we're not having buyer's remorse on our choice.
I appreciate
He's
that.
good. He's good.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till I get there. I got to show up in the morning first.
You're fine.
We will be taking attendance for you.
Oh, boy.
Oh, hey now. I like that.
Bueller?
Yeah, we'll have a for the Young Delegate Grant recipients, right? Just as you are like, hey, what am I doing there? There'll be some more stuff coming out from our team here in the next month to you as well. But we also do have a morning breakfast with all the Young Delegate Grant recipients to kind of bring them together because you guys will become a little, fraternity per se, right? Where you guys will be a bunch of people in the same boat. And so it's nice to have some people you can bounce things off of to ask questions. And then Chad Murphy, Melissa McDaniel, our executive director and president, typically attend that and talk to you guys and answer questions and stuff. So nice opportunity to learn more about the organization with the leaders.
Nice. Yeah. Talked to Chad a bunch of times and
Him and Chad are like best friends.
well, he probably wouldn't never be able to point me out in a room, but like it'd be nice to actually be able to
say, hey,
say hello.
My name's Kyle.
Yeah.
The guy who
face to the
talks all
name.
time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exciting. It'll be nice to actually take part in the organization that governs the sport, which is exciting. The Hall of Fame. So there's actually a few years because we're a couple of years behind due to this craziness that's going on. So talk a little bit about that. Some of the nominees and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, this is these moments. The Hall of Fame banquets are kind of like the cherry on top. I mean, they make all the hard work throughout the year, and at this event, just unbelievable to just witness and be a part of. So I definitely encourage you to attend both nights. I mean, they become long nights for sure, but they're the best of the best, right? We're putting these people in the creme de la creme Hall of Fame of bowling, and so 2020 class. Has been waiting for a long time to get inducted, probably the longest wait in history after being announced, in the fall of 19 or spring of 20. And then, as the pandemic in March 2020, hindered their induction. So, Andrew Kane, Jim Zebahazy, Bob Learn Jr., Pat Healy Jr., Marion DeRupo, and Patrick Allen in the 2020 class. Just going to be some amazing stories to hear. And the other cool part about the Hall of Fame induction is it's not just them, but it's all the other Hall of Famers that come back to be a part of it. Typically 25 to 30 Hall of Famers are there. And so, you guys like me as a kid growing up in bowling, it's like, oh my God, that's so-and-so, right? Oh my God. Oh my, and then they're like, hey, can you help me do this? Yeah, sure. Whatever you want. Right. I mean, I tell the story. Yeah. So don't overdo it. I ask Kyle, act like you've been there. There's some of that.
That's right. That's right.
He never does that. Trust me.
No.
Never acts like he's been anywhere
That's right.
before.
Yeah.
Never take it.
That's true.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, just total fandom moment, right? Just geeking out. Yeah, try to bear with us a little bit, but hopefully by night 2 you'll be accustomed to that. So all those people will come back, and I'm sorry, I was making sure I had the list here because I rattled off 2020 pretty quick, but I didn't want to miss anybody for 21 and 22 and be that guy who couldn't remember. So
they're all watching too. It's crazy.
They will be.
So yeah, great stories. It's going to be incredible. It's a nice dinner. Like I said, great stories. The one that I'll give a little sidebar. So like 2016 or 17, we're in Vegas, and David Ozio gets inducted in the Hall of Fame. And he's, he just gives his speech and stuff, and he's like, hey, would you mind taking this for me? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And here I am holding David Ozio's Hall of Fame plaque. Like, and I'm looking at his gold membership card. It's not, you don't like put it in your wallet. It's heavy, it's legit. But I'm like, how did I get here? Right. This kid that grew up, started bowling at 4 years old in Merritt Island, Florida, is now here helping David Ozio get inducted in the Hall of Fame. And so like, that night I'm like texting my parents. I'm like, hey, thanks for all the stuff that I put you through, driving me to all these tournaments galore, thanks for all that. Cause last night was pretty damn cool. Right. Yeah. Can I say that on here?
Yeah. This PG-13, Dick Allen was way worse when he was on the show.
Dick Allen, what a guy. Yeah. That's why I had the headband.
Yeah. I didn't ask about that, but now I get it. So
he used to wear the headband. So before he came on the show, I made a paper headband that said THB, and he's bowling well. So I
he's
felt
top
it was
5.
fitting.
I don't know where he's at right
to
now.
root for him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that Tuesday night, Hall of Fame induction. And Wednesday night, we're going to do the 21 and 22 Hall of Fame classes. And so Barb and Bill Chrisman from Storm Products, Sandra Jo Shirey, Bo Gergen, Bill Allen, and Roger Zeller, who are actually both posthumous. They both passed away years ago. Look them up. I'm actually reading the book from Roger Zeller that someone sent us to kind of get to know the man, because I didn't know him, but he ran Columbia Industries for many years. And so that'll be interesting for sure. And educational, I think, at the same light. And then I think Mark Williams and Tammy Turner, our latest inductee, just announced last month. So going to be, like I said, going to be incredible. Really looking forward to it. And typically there's a lot of handkerchiefs or napkins needed as, tears come out one way or another. So that make, like Jimmy V said, right? It's a good day if you can be brought to tears. And so this one will do that for sure.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I know that there's usually some legislation changes made at the convention. Are there any updates, changes expected this year at the convention?
Yeah, legislative session overall is going to be smaller this year. We only have one piece of legislation that's been brought forward from the field. And I say the field, right? It's from a member. Any member can submit legislation on a tournament rule, league rule, national bylaw, local bylaw, state bylaws. You can submit legislation. It's a very democratic process when it comes to that. But most people don't know that. And so some years in the past, we've had 15, 20, 25 pieces of legislation that we're voting upon. It really just depends on what people submit for consideration by the delegates to vote on. And so, only one this year. And so I think it's probably partially due to the pandemic, right? There's less people thinking or worrying about those things. But that legislation that comes from the field, it could be from anywhere. And it typically happens because something happens to someone that they feel should get changed in the rules, right? Someone's in a league situation that they think is wrong, or a tournament rule that they think is now affecting them negatively, and they submit legislation here to change that. And then, the national committee here reviews it and submits it to the delegation to vote. And so we'll be doing that this year for just one.
Any big changes that people should be expecting, or you can let loose? Any information that we should know about?
The legislation's public. If you're talking about that, the legislation that's proposed.
Or any big announcements or anything that.
Oh, okay. For just the overall, we got the biggest one that I can share is, and we've talked about it already. It's not like I'm sharing breaking news. Sorry about that to all the big fans out there.
Breaking news on this show.
The plan to the program to change how center certification is done. the tiered model that's being implemented, that's been announced after the years of research back in 18, 19, and 20, is being implemented and being announced at the 22 convention at the end of the event. And so we'll be sharing how that program will roll out nationwide in the future at the event. And so big news, we announced really 2 or 3 years ago now that we were going to be, like I said, after the research was done, that there would be a tiered model, that there would be new tools, and there would be national inspectors for inspecting the lane beds across the country. But it was supposed to get announced in 21 to be implemented in 22, but with the pandemic, when that hit, we basically said, hey, let's hold off on this. There's not an urgent need. We were just hoping the bowling centers could reopen at that time. And so, we'll announce that the last week of April. So big ups to Sam on my team for, getting that program where it's at, or the Search and Specs team here, Danny, Tom, Jason, everybody that's worked on that program over the last few years, to all of our associations across the country for certifying lanes for so many years, volunteering your time in some cases. Big thanks to everybody for all the research that went into that project. And
so it sounds like they'll be completely out of it at that point. There'll be a dedicated certification team.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. Research showed that we needed to do this a little better, and so we're going to be launching a new program with different tiering structures and new tools and new people to do the process. So, yep.
It's interesting. We actually talked about that last night.
Yeah.
One of our friends used to own a center. Recently just sold it, retired, and we did bring this up, talking about, well, what happened to that tier system they were going to do? And then we did talk about it, and we're like, well, we think it's going to start back up again. And then it's funny that you guys mentioned that, because I think that's going to be pretty cool. I'm interested to see how it's going to work, because I want to know what happens is there going to be a pass-fail, basically, and then you get graded there, or can you share that information? Are centers going to be able to be failed upon?
Yeah,
or
be sure you tune in. Be sure you tune in on Thursday at the convention.
Good. I know I figured I wasn't going to get the answer, but I figured I'd ask, because I think that'll be interesting to see how they're going to handle that, because I'm sure a lot of centers aren't going to be legal.
Right.
We're just going to give Kyle the mic when he gets back. You can.
I'm live streaming, man. That's going to be the big one.
No, that's illegal. Can't do it.
Yeah, everything's going to be on Bowl TV for those not in attendance.
And I have a free subscription for a year that I can't figure out how to get.
I've
been doing it for a week. Well, they gave me the join, and I can't figure out how to join.
Right.
I tried on my phone. I haven't tried on my computer yet. So
I might know somebody that can help you with that.
Yes, I'm sure. Probably you.
Yeah, me and my team help with that
now, but I did it on my phone, and I didn't do it on my computer. But that's good. I will try to tune in Thursday. We'll be slow, and maybe I'll catch Kyle's face in the crowd. Gonna paint your face for me so I can find you.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll have a big orange DLP, like maybe a sign or something. Yes. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
You're welcome.
All right, Mike. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. That's some good information, because, again, this is completely new to us, and didn't really have any idea what was going on out there. And I think, like you said, most people don't know. You didn't know before you started working there, like what was going on before, out in the convention and stuff. So it's good information to have. And appreciate USBC giving us any time of day to even head out that way and take care of us, or take care of me for that matter.
Good for you. It's okay. I'm going to watch on
Anthony's not miffed at all.
I'm okay. I'm not even worried about it. You want to know why? I'm going to watch you, and I'm going to live through your eyes.
Awesome.
All right, Mike, I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, I should mention, I don't know, I forgot to say it. Mike has a 300 at the OCs back in 2012. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. Got lucky once.
That's what I said.
Hey, man, you got every 300 has some luck in it. So
I had
good shooting out there.
And everyone said, "Wow, you bowled great." And I said, "I got lucky."
Yeah,
100%.
You gotta have some luck.
I've never seen you bowl. You're probably way better than me. I'm left-handed, so I don't count. But
I'll let you say it. But yeah.
Yeah. See, it seems like everybody who comes on the show, as soon as they know I'm left-handed, like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but we had a lefty on. We had Parker Bone on. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he
All right.
Yeah.
Well, really appreciate it. We got to
thank
get
you very
going.
much.
So have a good night. Thank you so much, as I said, and we'll see you around, and we'll see you in a few weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just under 60 days here. So looking forward to meeting you out there. And you guys have a good night. Bowl well tonight.
All right, thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Take care.
Have a good one. Well, Kyle, looks like you're gonna have an event-packed week. It's gonna be awesome.
Woo!
That's awesome.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I should have asked him what I have to wear. Is it business casual?
I'm sure they'll email you.
Do you have to wear a tux to the Hall of Fame dinner? Like,
Oh, you want to borrow mine?
no, your tuxes aren't like black tie. You have like a.
I have cool colors, man.
That's true. I could never fit in your clothes.
Yeah, you could. Just gain a few pounds.
No, I have to gain like a foot in height.
You could, definitely.
Oh, man. All right, so we got to get to Bowler of the Week.
Yeah.
All right, guys, remember, if you would like to be Bowler of the Week or would like to nominate someone, go ahead and click the link in the show notes and fill out that form. So this week, Bowler of the Week is
Ron Miller, bowler of the. Gotta look at that camera.
yes.
Tuesday night, Kingpin doubles. Ron shot 300, his first one, in he didn't even know how many years. And I believe he's about 73 years old. So I don't know if I'm overshooting there, but I know he's right around that age. Congratulations to Ron. He packed everyone, by the way.
Nice.
Absolutely packed.
Nice.
So congratulations to Ron. I think it's the second week back after COVID. Took about 3, 4, 5 weeks off. So congratulations to him. Keep it rolling. And happy birthday to Jerm Dirty.
Nice. Happy birthday, Jeremy. Don't forget, if you guys want to be Bowler of the Week or would like to nominate somebody to be Bowler of the Week, go ahead and click the link in the show notes and fill out that form. And we will figure out who it will be. All right, guys, it is time for us to go bowling. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. Catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you can't watch the show on YouTube, you can always download and listen on any major podcast outlet. And while you're doing that, please give us a 5-star review. If you would like to sponsor the show, you can email us at downlanepod@gmail.com. And if you would like to purchase some of our sweet shirts or hats or what have you, you can see the merch shop on Etsy. Thank you, Austin VanBuren, the producer.
Way to knock the sound out today, Bob.
Knock the sound out, knock the camera
I think
out.
he laughed
It's all
at-
getting knocked out.
He laughed at something I said. I would like to point out that Austin did whatever he did today.
He's so distressed, he wrapped the cable around his neck. Look at him.
Oh no, so it doesn't hang in front of me, so I don't hit it like I did.
He's choking himself out.
So Austin had dropped that. You had dropped the mic when Charlie came in for extra virgin lane oil
Yep.
segment. I would like to point out that I am the last person to do a mistake like that. And
Okay,
it's not
well,
even
you
know
just
about
jinxed
that.
yourself.
I'm
Thanks a
pretty
lot.
sure a couple episodes ago you had a mistake that we had to
Oh, yeah,
fix.
that ruined the audio on the entire episode.
Was
yeah.
that me?
Yeah, that was you. That was
No,
your,
I
yeah.
didn't hit that button. I don't touch anything. I leave the outline on the right and the StreamYard on the left. I don't touch anything.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Jack Scaccia, proprietor of Town and Country Lanes. Thank you, Anthony, for another decent show.
Yeah, I'm off my game a little
Your
tonight.
game is off.
I know. But
Thank-
he was so interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was off tonight.
Yeah.
Because he has a lot of awesome information.
Yeah.
And it pertains to you. So I was just listening.
Thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan.
And my girlfriend, Jan.
We will see you guys next week. This is Down Lane Podcast. It kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go
No,
lefty.
we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion into the podcast.
There he is right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast.
The camera that angle, I was like, what the fuck?
No, it was.